Hello and welcome. Today I wanted to share with you my high protein banana bread muffin recipe. And if you came here just for that, you can skip to this timestamp. Otherwise, I want to share with you what I'm meal prepping this week and talk a little bit about my meal prep style. If you saw my last meal prep video, I spent 2 days meal prepping a ton of stuff, and that is not typical. I do not usually spend every week 2 days prepping things. It just happened to work out that way because I needed a lot of stuff. And basically how I prep is I prep as I need. Anytime I'm cooking anything and I'm able to make more, I double up things. Anytime I have my chopping board out, I chop as much stuff as I can. Anytime I'm making bread, I make double. Anytime I'm making bagels, I make double. Anytime I'm making salads, I make double. I just make as much stuff I can in the amount of time that I have, and sometimes I do need to spend a couple of days getting it all done. And when I do that, I end up not having to prep a lot for a couple weeks or even longer. And so first part of me meal prepping this week is to honestly just see what I still had left over from last week and what I needed to freeze. So I did end up making the eggplant lasagna. I didn't make it like eggplant sheets because I forgot that I don't have the right mandolin. And so I just made it more of an eggplant bake and just chopped up the eggplant, cooked it, and then made a lasagna. So we had that last week. And so I need to take that and I need to freeze that to eat this week. And so that's what I did on Saturday. So it was Saturday that I went through all of my stuff. Went ahead and froze everything that I needed to freeze. I did have some leftover chicken, so I'm freezing the chicken, then also the pulp from the juice. It's ginger, lemon, and pineapple, and I thought that might be good in a cookie or some sort of muffin or something down the road, or maybe even like a teriyaki chicken, I was thinking. So I'm not using that this week, but I do want to freeze it so then I can kind of research some recipes and see what I want to make with it, because I don't want it to go to waste. It's just a good flavor agent. A lot of times when I make ginger juice, I will take the pulp and I will just put it in the freezer and then break it off when I'm making Asian meals. And honestly, I haven't made an Asian meal at home in a long time. Some things kind of just had to get pushed to the back after having the baby. And then it's been slowly but steadily building things back up and getting back into routines and even creating new routines. But we also had the lasagna, like I said. I have to freeze that. I'm gonna put that away. And then the bagels, I went ahead and sliced them up, kept them separated, everything in the regular, and freezing those. And then the quinoa, I separated that into a couple more meals. I didn't really use that much because I only had it on the salad. But I froze 2 packages of those so I can either do the same thing and just defrost one to put on salads, or I can make a side dish, which I'll tell you about in a second when I show you what I actually did meal prep this week. And then the spinach, I had just like a little bit of spinach left over and I didn't want that to wilt, so I put that in the freezer bag, and I'll use that mostly for smoothies. Like once it's frozen, I'll either use it for smoothies or in a pasta sauce. It's the best way for that, or even an egg scramble would be good, but I'm obviously not using it on a salad or anything. But I do put greens in every smoothie and in my eggs and sauces, like I said. And then the last thing were waffles. So I made the waffles, and I kept the ones, I had previously frozen ones. They were like plain ones. I didn't have as much seasoning. These had more seasoning and more carrots. You could actually taste like the carrot cake flavor. And so I just froze those in the same bag, which was nice. So let me turn you around and show you what I actually meal prepped this weekend. So today, just to give you like time frame, today's Tuesday. I did this meal prep on Sunday, and yeah. So anyway, I'll explain as I go along. Okay, this is our pizza actually from last night. I did not prep this on Sunday, I prepped this on Monday. I made 2, and sometimes we eat 2 and sometimes we don't. Taylor was not feeling pizza, so I let her get away with not eating it. It's fine. Instead, I'm gonna have this whole pizza that I wrapped in foil, and then I'm going to freeze this so it can be like a nice lunch, probably on the weekend or on a day that Chris is off. I also roasted some beets, and this I actually did Saturday night. I roasted 3 beets. It was leftover from our Misfits market. The beet greens were wilted. I was going to make juice with the greens. I just didn't get to them in time. They're pretty wilted. But I was able to salvage the bulbs, and so I roasted these up and then chopped them. I forgot to mention that with these beets, I'm planning on taking the frozen quinoa that I have and having that with these beets mixed with some feta cheese, maybe some pecans, kind of like the salad, but more of a side dish, and then put some balsamic dressing or balsamic vinegar, maybe a little olive oil or something, and just have it as a healthy side dish. And then I made a lime crema, and this just has Greek yogurt, 2 limes, and then a little bit of salt. And this is just what I'm going to drizzle on our tacos tonight. And then we had steak with onions and mushrooms and potatoes on Saturday night. And I had Chris just chop up the onion. He was about to just put the whole onion away, or, well, it was half an onion. I'm like, no, please slice that up and we'll use it through the week. So we can use it on tacos tonight. We can use it on salads or whatever else, or throw it in like with greens, which is also what we used it for on Sunday. So I mean, just whenever the chopping board is out, chop up your stuff. If you already have something up, just chop it up. If I need to finely dice it for a recipe, I can do that. If I want to throw it on something, I can do that. It's just already done. Just one less thing you have to do. I made a beet salad, and I actually made 2 of these. So I'll show you that. And this just has the romaine lettuce. I put a little bit of spinach in here, feta, onion, and we did a red onion. I have that in the refrigerator. The golden beets, and then steak. This is leftover steak from Saturday night. Another tip, either purposely make extra protein, which is what I did last week with the chicken, or just if you have leftovers. We had basically a whole steak leftover. We chopped that up and we put it in salads. And also you could freeze that too if you don't like have a use for it, and then you could just throw it on a salad later, which is what I might do with that chicken that I froze. I don't want to like put it on a meal prep salad because it wasn't fresh, if that makes sense. But say I make a salad on Wednesday night, I can put the frozen chicken on Wednesday night. It'll be ready to go by Thursday, but I don't want to leave it in longer than a few days. And then this, I just wanted to show, I made this actually 2 weeks ago, but this is going to be our dinner tonight. This is just turkey taco meat. Again, I used one of those 2.5 pounders from Sam's, and it made 2 meals. And so that's what we're going to have tonight. And I just thawed it last night. This here is our yogurt for Peyton. And so I just use plain Greek yogurt and I mix it with prunes. And this is her yogurt. We put them in some reusable yogurt pouches. And basically this is her probiotic. It just helps her be more regular. But it's gone because I did already give her some. It's like I said, with the salad, she ate that for lunch yesterday. And then these are just our greens that we made on Sunday. I usually make a big batch of greens on Sunday, and then we have them later in the week. So this we'll actually eat tomorrow, Wednesday. We're gonna have salmon, coconut rice, which actually I made coconut rice 3 weeks ago in the Instant Pot, and made enough for 3 meals. And we had some last week on Wednesday, and we're gonna have some again this Wednesday with these greens. And then I made this sourdough breakfast casserole. And so I actually was making this for a brunch. We're going to my sister-in-law's house, and so I made one for her house, but we had so much of the stuff left over that I made 2, and then I just divided it. I just cut it into 4 squares so I could just keep this dish in my refrigerator, and this will be my breakfast a few days this week. And it's just sourdough bread, like basically the like leftovers of my sourdough bread, like the pieces I can't put in the toaster, that kind of stuff, and then egg whites, whole eggs, pork sausage that we don't typically eat. It was something that we bought. We don't usually eat it, and Chris was like, I really don't want to eat that like by itself. And so I was like, this would be great in a casserole. We just like crumbled it up, cooked it down, and then mozzarella cheese. I don't know if I said that or not, but it's really good. And each square has like 33 grams of protein. And so that's like a great meal. Or no, actually I think each square has 22 grams of protein, but if I pair it with 2 chicken sausages, then I'll have about 35 grams of protein. Plus like my collagen, and my breakfast will be like 45 grams of protein. But anyway, just something that was not planned, but I made do with it. I actually have the egg whites in the freezer from last week because I made extra. And so I'll actually have those next week. So that's the thing. Like once you get in the habit of prepping a little bit as you go, there'll be weeks where you don't have to make too much stuff. And then you'll like keep taking things out of your freezer. And that's kind of the point where we were at, is like we had used up everything in our freezer. And so we needed to make more. But anyway, these are some, look like they're rotten bananas, but they're not. These are just ready for some banana bread. And that's why I'm making the banana bread muffins, and I'm making them high protein. style. So I'm gonna share that recipe with you. And then just as an FYI, I do still have a little bit of pineapple and cantaloupe that needs to be eaten like right away, or, you know, pretty soon. I don't know exactly how long fruit lasts, depends on how you store it, up to a couple weeks. So we do have a few days on it still, but we're gonna use that up. And then I have 2 of my recovery shots left. And I really want to make more. I need to go back to the store and get some more stuff. So I'm just kind of like savoring them until I get to the store. Anyway, so this is my little meal prep for the week. Let me show you the banana muffins. So I just put some balsamic dressing on it and wanted to share a little thought real quick because yes, right now I am currently trying to lose a few pounds, but this is how I eat and this is how I prep, no matter if I'm trying to lose weight or I'm just maintaining my weight. So just wanted to throw that out there that you don't have to and you should not be changing anything. I talked about this in the last meal prep video, but you should eat the way you normally eat while you're trying to lose a few pounds that you would ordinarily. And so sometimes that does mean you make changes, you know, that last, and sometimes it's just you learn how to eat things that you love, like my banana bread muffins, because I'm gonna show you how to make them healthier and high protein so you can have them while you're trying to lose weight and while you are just maintaining your healthy weight. So it is a couple of days later, it's Thursday. I last talked to you on Tuesday. Before I show you the high protein banana bread muffins, I just wanted to tell you that I am so freaking grateful that I meal prepped because things did not go as planned. And that is often what happens. Like, not often are we dealing with illness per se, but you just never know what's gonna come up. And not only does having everything planned out, or mostly planned, can you account for the things that you're putting into your mouth and can help you with your weight loss goals, but it also helps you like get to work on time and do things because things are already prepped. Like, I had to bring my breakfast with me this morning and I just like popped it in the air fryer and then put it into a bag or a box and was going to eat it on the way to work, but actually couldn't because I did not have enough time. But anyway, yeah, ate randomly in between clients today, which is not even usually what I'm able to do, but somehow it just worked out because things just work out today. Like, all of my clients today just had to be like in and out, and so I had like 10 minutes between each appointment. And so anyway, so great to do that because Peyton has a stomach bug. I got the call on Tuesday around 3 o'clock that she got sick. And so I had to go pick her up, and then she got sick again that night. She got sick yesterday morning, and so I wasn't able to do anything on Tuesday, anything yesterday. I did have to still work yesterday, and I still worked today. Luckily, we're able to like get child care covered and all of that, but just basically spent all my free time holding a baby, which is great because she's not really into snuggles right now, and so it was nice to have the snuggles, but also, you know, I do like to do things and like to work and do my other stuff, but that's just how life is. And last night we were going to have the salmon, coconut rice, and greens that I planned, but it was like a free-for-all, and Taylor's like exercise or activity schedule has changed a bit, and so the last 2 weeks have been kind of weird anyway. So I was like, you know what, let's make it easy and just do a free-for-all. So I took the chicken that I had in the freezer, I put that in the air fryer, and then I took the beets and the rest of the feta cheese. I took some onions and some pecans, put it all together, and I made myself another beet salad, and I just had like a big one with dinner, or for dinner, and so it was actually just really nice. It's just nice to have things prepped. Like, it's just nice, and you just gotta take it one day at a time and do what you can. I'm gonna show you one of my most favorite things to make in just a second. I don't make it as often as I used to, but I'm getting back into the habit of it. So before I show you the recipe, I also wanted to share that I made this bone broth last night because little Miss Baby Girl is sick, and that's why it's 2 days later that I'm actually getting around to making these muffins. But this is my 24-hour bone broth. I just use any veggie ends that I have. I had celery and onion left over, and then I just added some shredded carrots that I had in the fridge that I was going to save for another recipe, but just threw it in there with water. And then I use salt, pepper, garlic, and then usually bay leaf and turmeric, but I forgot to put the turmeric in, and we don't have any bay leaves. And then you also add a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. That helps the bones, like helps the nutrients get extracted from the bones, and I just leave it on all night, up to 24 hours. So it just has to cool, and then I can put it in jars. But made this for her so she can have it with rice. So this is what you need for the high protein banana bread muffins: salt, cinnamon, walnuts. These are optional. I'm just gonna add a few to the top. Coconut oil, or really any oil of choice. These are the bananas, and I actually put them in the fridge because I got a call like right after I was recording on Tuesday that she got sick, and so I couldn't make the muffins that day, so I just put this in the fridge so it would like stop the, you know, browning process, if that makes sense. But they're still good. We're gonna use them. I've got some vanilla protein powder. This is the vegan plant-based one from Burn, and I absolutely love it. It tastes so good. It just easily mixes with almond milk, which is really great, and it has a the right amount of leucine in it, which you have to really be careful about when you are getting a vegan protein powder. And if you don't go to Burn, you should just go try a 7-day free trial and then get some protein powder because it's really good. And then you need 2 eggs, and then I have some oat flour I'm using, and then this is monk fruit sweetener. It's just my sugar substitute, a natural version. I can't say this is technically healthy, but I don't think any type of sugar is healthy, even like coconut sugar. But this is 0 calorie, and it just helps you have some treats and not have all the calories. And some vanilla extract, baking soda, and then the original recipe I am like basing this off of is a clean and delicious recipe. So these are the ingredients it usually calls for, so I'm substituting things. And I think it has like some sort of icing on it as well, that I'm not doing. It's back here somewhere, but I don't know, I just try to like find a recipe and then I make it my own. Yeah, we're not doing any icing, and I'm turning it into muffins instead of like actual like bars, I guess, or like the cake. But I'm gonna mix it all together and show you what it looks like. For this recipe, I am weighing the walnuts, bananas, and the protein powder to make sure I just have things accounted for better in my tracker. Now that I've mixed all the wet ingredients together, and I do add the salt and baking soda to that just so it mixes really well before I add in the protein powder and the flour, because the protein powder absorbs a lot of liquid, and so I'm going to end up having to add some water and just go based on like look and feel basically. But what I do is I just split it. Calls for 1 cup of flour, but I'm going to use half a cup of flour and half a cup of protein powder. Want it to look like cake batter, so not too much. I probably added like 2 tablespoons to 1/4 cup of water. I like using this scoop so everything is pretty much even, and then I don't have to like weigh anything out separately. Could there be a little bit off? But yes, but it's fine. Did you know that even the calories on the box of whatever you buy at the store is actually just an estimate? So nothing is exact. Now, I do believe that you need to be tracking and weighing things, especially if you're like, hey, I am eating really good, but I'm not losing any weight. You definitely need to track, but it's one of those things where you can be consistently inconsistent. So, like for instance, I'm definitely not going to be tracking my vitamins, but every day I'm having them. So whatever the calories are that I have listed, as long as I stick to that and I'm always not counting my vitamins, for instance, then everything's gonna like even out and be fine. But say I wasn't losing any weight, then I might be like needing to lower those calories because of whatever else it is, you know. It's just an example because I do know crazies who actually count their vitamins, and I just don't want to be like that. It's like mindful tracking. I don't want to be obsessive, but I also don't want to like be ignorant. I'm all about balance. Okay. As I'm adding the walnuts, I'm not going to be too precise. I'm not laying them out on each individual muffin. It's not that serious. Just an estimate. Now, if over, you know, after a couple weeks or something, you're realizing, oh, nothing's really happening, well, maybe you need to tighten up a little bit on your measuring. But there are just some things that like I don't measure. Certain things I'm like that. When I make my homemade granola, I'll weigh all of that out because I'm putting it in this big old container. Like if I can evenly eyeball something and know that I'm like 90% sure like that's the correct amount, then we can get away with that. But just wanted to share that. So everything is about balance. Mindful tracking is tracking while being mindful. After about 5 minutes, I try to get them out. Just let them hang out here for a few minutes and then put them on the tray. Thank you for hanging out with me and letting me share with you my high protein banana bread muffin recipe and all the things that I prepped and put away this week. Meal prep does not have to be too difficult. Sometimes you spend more time on it than others. It just depends on the week. But if you just get in the habit of making more than you need, chopping what you can every time you get your chopping board out, and just using up what you've got, it'll be like such a cinch. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you have a great day, and please go do something good for yourself because you deserve it, and I'll see you next time.